excited about another year. Certainly happy for Dabo and everything that's happening with football. It's been a real pleasure and a joy just to watch their team play this year, and certainly it was fun on Saturday. But we're excited to get started. We've had a couple trips up to Greenville, and it's been good. I think we've had good support. Again, I want to thank our university and people in marketing. I think they've done a really good job of trying to make sure people up there know that we're playing that way. And, season ticket sales seem to be going well, so we're excited about that. I know we've got some challenges with making sure that we get student turnout up there, and just reminding people that basketball is starting here with all that's going on with the number one team in college football. So, but I think our guys are in a pretty good place right now. We worked hard this summer and fall, and it's time now for us to start playing some other people on a regular basis and see where we are. So with that, I'll take a few questions.
Brad, to start off, just keeping in line with the football analogy, how can that help Clemson basketball, just the exposure?
Certainly the visibility and exposure is it's great for all the teams. It's, university itself. It's, there's several times now when, you've got another point of reference to talk in terms of conversations with recruits. More and more of them have seen the Clemson atmosphere. A lot of them have come to games themselves, kids that we're recruiting. We certainly, I don't think that's ever really changed, well before I got here. I think everybody, understands that football weekends at Clemson are special, and we're going to always bring, a lot of recruits to those environments. But I just think as much as anything is the visibility and the notoriety that comes with having a team that's, at times ranked in the top 10 and now ultimately, number one. It is, you can't turn on SportsCenter very often anymore and not see Clemson. And just that reminder is great for all of our sports, to be honest with you.
Update on City, if he may play this weekend?
He not 100% sure. I'm hoping that he will. He practiced a little bit. We were off yesterday, so I guess that was Sunday, and did okay. Didn't go the whole time, certainly, but we'll see more about how he's doing this week, starting today. But I would suspect that he'll be available at least to some degree, and he's still going to work his way back. It's a little unfortunate because he was playing really, really well the first couple weeks of practice, and certainly, the injury's back kind of in a knee brace and all that, so it's slowing him a little bit. But I look for him to have a really good year for us. It's pretty good. It's not 100% certainly, but he's been able to practice and should be fine. We got to be a little careful with him because I know it's still bothering him. He's gotten a couple shots, some things of that nature to keep him going, but certainly a big piece to our team and a guy that needs to have a good year for us.
I know you just made a couple of visits up to the well, but what have you heard from the players about, this season being played in Greenville?
Well, I think they're excited about it. I mean, we've talked ad nauseum here about not, worrying about things we can't control, and we understand some of the challenges and difficulties, and there's still a newness to it that the shine hasn't worn off in terms of getting in the buses and traveling up there and all those kinds of things. It was different the other night, just coming home after a game, and you have a lot more respect for your fan base when it's 10:30 or 11 o'clock and you're driving in the rain home from Greenville back to Clemson or whatever. You understand what these people are doing when they come watch you play on a weeknight. And so in terms of our guys, I think our guys are still excited about it. I think it's a nice facility. Certainly we had a little bit of problems with the floor in terms of some wetness. So there's a little bit of concern there. We're hoping that we get that cleared up because you don't want it to be dangerous. The other two times had been better for whatever reason. In the LR game, it was concerning. Our guys, commented on it several times, and it was a little bit of a problem. But in terms of atmosphere, I thought it was pretty good. It feels like an ACC tournament venue or an NCAA tournament venue. These are big. It's a big place. So it is a lot different. And certainly there's a little bit of difference just, we're practicing in a volleyball gym. So we're practicing in a really small environment. So there's a little bit of getting used to that we need to get to. But I think our guys are excited about the opportunity to play up there and feel like, there's some excitement up there for Clemson basketball. It's our job to play well enough to keep people excited.
What are your expectations for the non-conference schedule, especially with a few of the teams on there that have been in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I expect us to play well and win. But, we start with a team in North Carolina Central. Anytime you play teams like, NC Central and Wofford that are, consistently winners of their league and 20-game winners and have good coaches, you're taking on programs that are used to winning. And when you do that, they're going to be dangerous. And it doesn't matter whether they've got 5 starters back, 1 starter back, no starters back. The culture is established. And so certainly those are going to be, good games, and that's some of the reason why we're playing them. Texas Southern's another team in our third game that a lot of people won't know about, but, they're probably the best program in that league, and Mike Davis has coached in the Final Four. I mean, he knows how to coach, and they have good players, and they're used to winning 20 games every year and, beat Michigan State and Kansas State on the road last year. So, I mean, those are games that, some of that you try to schedule because you want to play some good teams in the non-conference. And, that's going to start right away with North Carolina Central here this week.
How much of a teaching lesson was the exhibition game the other night when you went back and showed your team on film?
It was. There was a lot of different things that went on in the game that you could see could cause us problems, especially early. And really, I think we all got to be careful as coaches, players, fans, media, make too much out of it, because this time of year you can flip on all kinds of exhibition games that don't go well for a team and that's supposed to win and all that. And certainly there were things that we needed to learn better. And we had some issues with Jerron in foul trouble, Landry out with a shoulder, City's not playing. We didn't look like a high major team. When Josh is our center and Dante's our 4-man, we look like a regular mid-major team. And so we didn't have the kind of strength and, just where you could go overpower them. You had to out-execute them. And, when you play teams that are smaller like this, the value of the three-point shot becomes critical. And when they start making threes, it becomes really hard for you. And then they've got a great guard that's driving and scoring in the paint, and they're also making threes. They're beating you both ways, and that's the lesson we didn't learn. And we made some mistakes coaching-wise, and we made some execution mistakes defensively in terms of like Landry not protecting our basket and worrying about his guy going back and making a shot. And so it had us too spread out. And so there were some things that way. And then offensively, the most frustrating thing for me to date has just been, we have to shoot the ball better. I'm confident we will, but we haven't yet. Even in an exhibition and in a scrimmage, we have not shot the ball like we need to shoot the ball if we're going to be good. And guys like Gabe DeVoe and Avery Holmes, Jordan Roper, Dante Grantham, certainly we only had one guy make threes in the last game. And when you go back and chart our threes, 75% of them are wide open. And you got to make them. And there's a little bit of nerves, there's a little bit of anxiety, whatever there is, beginning of the season. But, a recipe for disaster is us not making shots again this year. That's going to be a problem. Like, we're not going to be as dominant as we need to be inside. We'll be solid, and we'll be able to find ways to score in certain situations with Jerron off the bounce and making a shot. I think his shot has improved. But our guards are going to have to make threes for us to have a really good year.
Whether it be through the team success or just the operations at Bon Secours, is this year a possible foundation for a future regional? Is that something that?
Yeah, I mean, that's not something that I worry about, but certainly I had another media person ask me about it at ACC Media Day, whether this could be a site that some people would look at. I mean, I think that's up to the people in Greenville of whether they want to ante up the money to bid on something like that. I certainly think in terms of a location to go play, it would be terrific. If I was a visiting team and you gave me the opportunity to come to Greenville, South Carolina, in March, great weather, fan base that's going to be excited about basketball, terrific venue to play. I think it's got a lot of the makings, a terrific town to, bring your team and a lot of great restaurants and places to go. And so absolutely. I think it 100% could be a good venue, but pretty competitive market, and obviously the people in Greenville got to decide whether they want to try for that.
Part of the
university's marketing efforts for this season is reaching those Greenvillians who wouldn't may not make that trip. What do you think is the team's role in that effort?
Playing well. I mean, we have to play well to draw excitement. You know, when people are enthusiastic and excited, you know, I think they'll come back. I think we'll get a lot of people that'll come once or twice. I think that's common. I think it becomes a night out. It becomes something to do. Go to dinner, go to a game, then go to dinner. But you have to also, one of the things we've got to do, continue to do as a basketball program and as an athletic department is we have to market our players. Like, we have to market our players too. We need to get people to understand the kind of kids. Just walking in here, I was stopped by a gentleman who said he ran in Jerron Blossom game at a baseball game this weekend or a baseball event, and he complimented on him stopping and talking to he and his wife and what kind of kid he is. And obviously he's an outstanding player too. And that's what we have on our team. We have guys that are good players, but they're great kids, and they represent us right. They do things the right way. So we've got to continue to do that, because I do think as people get to know our players and meet our players, and that's part of the reason why we did things like flash mobs and came to Greenville several times in the summer and in the fall. When you get to know our players and you develop a little bit of a following with them or a friendship with them, you're more likely to come watch them play as well. And so I think that's a big part of the next step for us.